Comic Army. My name is Chris, the Comic Vet. Hope this video finds you safe and well. While I have you here, please make sure that you hit that like button, please leave a comment, and please consider subscribing to my channel. It's been a very, very long time since I've had the opportunity to go to any kind of Comic-Con because of this worldwide pandemic. Well, this weekend in my home city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Fan Expo decided to launch its flagship con for this brand new Comic-Con season. Now, the province of Ontario has still some COVID restrictions on the amount of people that are allowed into large halls. So Fan Expo decided to, instead of having two monstrous halls connected via a tunnel at the Metro Convention Center in downtown Toronto, they decided to close that tunnel and have those two monstrous halls. However, if you wanted to travel between them, you actually had to go outside into downtown Toronto and walk around the streets to the other entrance to the secondary hall. Now, one hall housed the comic-related stuff, i.e. Artist Alley, some comic vendors, and some other surprises that you'll see. And the secondary hall is the hall that housed the celebrity autograph signings, live Q&A sessions, and that type of thing. Now, Friday did have a much scaled back version of the amount of celebrities that were at Fan Expo, but you're going to get to see some people that were there, and more importantly, you're also going to get to see a lot of the comic creators that were there for Friday as well. After this particular walking tour, I will talk about some highlights, some lowlights, and I'll show you the things that I picked up at this fantastic Comic-Con that's been much anticipated, and I'm glad that it's back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Friday edition of Fan Expo, limited edition. Comic Army, I gotta stop this video just for a quick minute, just to tell you what you're about to see. My good friend, Canadian superstar artist Ken Lashley, has finally set up his booth, and it's been quite a while since Ken and I have got to see each other. Now, Ken and I have known each other well over 7 or 8 years. We know each other's family and our little ones. Actually, our little ones are all grown up now. And it was great to see him. Now, normally you would think that when Ken and I see each other, the first thing we would talk about is comics, or even some fandom stuff, or even pulp culture. No, 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 not Ken and I. You're quickly going to see that Ken Lashley is a New Orleans Saints fan, and he's going to remind you that I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, and that when Ken and I see each other, the only thing he wants to talk about is NFL football.
What's going on, dirtbag? I know your Buffalo Bills are doing well, so you're feeling good about yourself, right?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling good about yourself.
Feeling great.
I haven't seen you in years because Buffalo wasn't good. Now you're out.
I'm here, and I'm just going to hang out at your.
Buffalo's good.
I'm hanging out at your booth all weekend.
Good though. Yeah, this is not bad paper.
Comic Army, I hope that you enjoyed seeing a little bit of my home city, Toronto, and checking out this very cool walking tour of Fan Expo. Now, like I mentioned at the top of this video, this is actually a scaled back version of what Fan Expo normally does. They were actually calling it Fan Expo Limited Edition. Normally, this is their largest Comic-Con that they put on for the calendar year, and they do have a lot of other different cons that they do throughout Canada and now into the United States. But with that being said, let me talk to you about some of the highlights and a couple of the lowlights, and I'll show you some of the things that I picked up at this very cool con. Some of the highlights was right off the bat, trying to get in, you had to obviously go through the screening process to show that you're fully vaccinated, and you had to show proof that you have been vaccinated along with identification. This actually didn't take a very long time. It only took me 10-15 seconds to go through their screening area to show someone that I am fully vaccinated and to show identification to match that, and then I was beyond that and into the ticketing area. The one thing I did notice that was cool is that a lot of people were giving each other enough space. Everyone was wearing masks. There weren't that many people that were actually wearing their masks inappropriately. There was a couple people that had their masks fully down, but they were doing something to deal with that at the time, having something to drink, having a quick bite to eat. You know, that's just life right now while we deal with COVID-19. A lot of the vendors were very, very friendly. The only reason why I point that out is because I have dealt with people that were not necessarily that friendly, and that's something I kind of find strange, because some of these booths that are at Fan Expo cost in a neighborhood of $1,000 or more for the weekend. Anyways, I was happy that they did have somewhat of a selection of celebrities, both comic creators and media celebrities, available on the Friday, but it was greatly scaled back, as most people would be arriving for the Saturday when it comes to celebrities and autographs and that kind of thing. Some of the lowlights would be this. They do offer a military discount. I am a Canadian veteran, and so that's something that I was hoping to exercise. Now, on the website, it says all you had to do was go to the box office to purchase your ticket. The thing is, there is no box office that I found. Once you got into the facility, there was a ticketing area. However, you had to have already shown your ticket to get in there. There's no way to exercise that military discount online, or at least that I was aware of, so that's something I did find somewhat disappointing. It is what it is. I was on a budget this particular weekend, so every little penny really counted. Some of the other things that I did find a little annoying was there weren't any stations for sanitization. So like there wasn't any random hand sanitizer stations throughout the facility. It's a good thing I packed my own, but I was really counting on the fact that there would be random bottles for you just to, do a quick pump and squirt into your hands to make sure that they were sanitized, because a lot of people, like myself, touched a few things. But anyways, the other negative thing is that, as you may have seen in the video, a lot of these comic books were really, really marked up. So I don't know if these books were priced at the height of COVID, when the bubble was greatly accelerating, but you saw there was a lot of books that were really, really expensive that aren't necessarily at that point. Now, I do understand the Canadian dollar is not worth as much as what the American dollar is, but when you factor in that little bit of a difference, it still is in the neighborhood of what a lot of those big time keys were actually being asked for. Maybe Sunday there will be more of a better deal. But with that being said, let's take a look at my haul. Now, in the video, you did see that there was an Eternals set up from Marvel Studios. There was someone that was working there, and one of the times I actually walked past that very cool video display of the Eternals, they actually handed out a pop socket for your phone. And this is said pop socket that I got from Eternals. Very cool. It says phone holder ring XL. But yeah, cool. A little bit of something for nothing. Who's not going to say thank you very much? You did get to see my interaction with my good friend, Canadian superstar artist Ken Lashley, and Ken was nice enough to sign 5 books for me for free, and that's something that he's just great about. When it comes to autographing, it's not a problem. He was taking commissions, he was selling some books that he had already sketched up, and he was selling some CGC books that he had graded, featuring his own cover work and some of the interiors as well. These are the 5 things that I got done. I have a variant cover from Non-Stop Spider-Man issue number 1, and I got this book autographed, as Spider-Man is my favorite character. To have one of my favorite artists do a cover for Spider-Man is quite the treat. Ken did do a very cool homage cover for Venom issue 30. This is Null on Venom issue 30, homaging Todd McFarlane's ASM 300. Ken did point out that he doesn't have any copies of this one left. How true that is, I don't know. Ken likes to play around with me a little bit. I did get a copy of his cover for Spawn issue 308. Very, very cool. As you can see, Ken signed it right there in gold. I did have Ken sign 2 more Spawn books for me. They are not his cover work, and he was quick to point that out. However, you know, he did do the interiors for Spawn 309. I had Ken sign this fantastic cover. And I did have Ken also sign this particular cover of issue 309 from Todd McFarlane, featuring Ken's work as the interiors. You did get to see me say hello to Ed Brisson, the writer for Beyond the Breach, The Amazing Spider-Man, Clown Hunter, amongst others. I believe he's actually done a Deadpool as well. Ed was very cool. He agreed to sign 5 books for free, and these are the 5 that I had done. One of my favorite stories of this new year is from Aftershock. This is issue number 1 of Beyond the Breach. I did speak to him about this. He said that it is going to be ending at this particular arc, but they are going to be returning to Beyond the Breach afterwards. So there might be a little bit of a pause before we get the second arc of Beyond the Breach. This is issue number 2 of Beyond the Breach. It was cool enough to autograph that for me as well. Like I mentioned, he did do Clown Hunter, and he was cool enough to sign this one for me. And actually at his table, he had a black and white Virgin variant cover of this that I've never seen before that he was selling as well. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, my favorite character of all time is Spider-Man, and Ed Brisson's actually had his hand recently in some Amazing Spider-Man titles. This is Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man, The Chameleon Conspiracy, featuring writer Nick Spencer, Ed Brisson, along with the interior artists Gomez, Fiera, Carlos, and Guerra. Yeah, I really enjoy this cover. And lastly, the last free book that Ed was kind enough to sign was actually from The Amazing Spider-Man as well, The Chameleon Conspiracy Part 3, Amazing Spider-Man issue 69. Very, very cool. Now, on the website, it said that Canadian superstar artist Jason Fabach was going to be appearing at Fan Expo, but he was only going to be appearing Friday and Saturday. Now, I decided that I was only going to be going to this con on the Friday, so I was a little disappointed that I was not going to have the opportunity to get Jason Fabach to sign my 3 1 in 25, the 3 Jokers variant covers. I was really, really hoping to get those autographed. They are very cool covers, and it would have been nice to get something special signed by Jason Fabach. Well, as you could see by some of the footage, that Jason Fabach was going to be there on Friday. and I did not bring those books. So I was disappointed that I was not going to have the opportunity to get Jason to sign those books for me. But here's hoping that I'll catch him at another con in the near future. With that being said, I had also hoped to get David Finch, another Canadian superstar artist, to sign a handful of books that I had. Primarily, I was going to have him sign that beautiful King Spawn variant cover that he had done, along with a couple different Batman covers. Well, timing didn't work out for me seeing David Finch, but David Finch was actually not signing for free. And I did not bring any disposable cash to get autographs that way. Well, it didn't work out. But again, David does do a lot of cons in Ontario, so I'm hoping to catch him again. And the other artist that I did not have an opportunity to get an autograph from was Ramon Perez. Ramon Perez has done some Spider-Man stuff in the past, but I was really hoping to get him to sign the first 3 copies of Chip Zdarsky's Stillwater. He does do covers and interiors for that fantastic storyline. However, the times that I passed by his area where he was to be, he wasn't there. So I'm presuming he's probably going to be there for the Saturday and Sunday, even though the website did say that he was going to be there for the Friday as well. So I only ended up getting autographs from 2 different comic creators, but I'm more than excited because I ended up with 10 very cool autograph books, as you just saw. The final thing that I picked up at Fan Expo was a treat for myself. I went to Gotham Central Comics, one of my favorite stores in the Greater Toronto area, as I do know the owner personally and I do consider him a friend. And in the future, you are going to see a store tour of this incredible comic shop that is featured in the suburbs of Toronto. Now, I did get to work out a very cool deal with the owner of Gotham Central. He is a DC fan, as you can tell. And the deal that I worked out for was for a 9.8 CGC Signature Series of Nocterra #1. This is his own store exclusive that he shared with El Rey Comics, featuring Joseph Schmalke's work. And this book by creator Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel features Joseph Schmalke's work on the cover and his autograph. So it was very cool to add this somewhat of a spec book to my personal collection and to help support, my friend by picking up one of his own exclusive covers. So yes, if you haven't seen this cover before, this is Joseph Schmalke and his take for Nocterra #1. With that being said, Comic Army, again, please consider hitting that like button. Go ahead and leave a comment, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope that you enjoyed this tour, and I hope that you enjoyed checking out my haul. And until I see you again, please stay safe. Take care.